Morning. Hello, everybody. What is up? Mystic Jasmine here, and just wanting to touch bases with you guys. Actually, there's a few things that I want to talk to you about this morning. I've been getting a ton of messages about timing of your spell work, and this is something I've been meaning to do for a very long time, so I figured why not take the time out and kind of go over that with you. Now, first and foremost, before we get into that, I am traveling, as you guys all know, and I arrived here in Lake Jackson last night around midnight. I am staying with my brother Sugun Dan, who is just one of the most incredible individuals on this planet and has graciously opened his home to allow me to stay here as I pass through, and I can't even begin to describe not only the energy here, but how phenomenal, I mean phenomenal, Lake Jackson is. This backyard that I'm standing in, maybe I can give you guys a good little panorama view, but it is just, you guys know I'm a nature girl, and I am literally, I'm at home, so to speak, but this is just green upon trees, and the lake. I was told that there are gators or something of that nature, so I'm not gonna go too far down there, but I'll see. I don't know if you guys can see it. The water is rather murky. As you all know, there has been some torrentious floods and some serious thunderstorms and rain and a lot of damage here in Texas. So my prayers go out to all of you that are in Texas, those of you that have family, and all the people that are currently trying to recover from nature. But where we're at right now, the flooding hasn't occurred yet. The river is rising, or the lake is rising and moving fairly quickly, but I do plan on leaving here before that happens. I think we're still maybe a couple days away from that happening. But anyway, I just feel incredibly grateful to be here on, oh wow. I'm sorry, I just realized there's a grapefruit tree. I've never seen a grapefruit tree up close. Oh my goodness. You guys take a look. I don't know if you can see. Maybe not. I'm such a terrible camera person. I'll be hiring someone to do that too. Maybe. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, I think those are grapefruits or something. Ask him if I can take one home. Anyway, okay. Back to the nature of this video. Timing of your spell work. I get this question a couple times a day. Like, no, a couple dozen times a day, I should say. And first of all, there is no blanket answer to that. Magic is just that. It's magic. There is no scientific explanations to give a person. Otherwise, then it wouldn't be called magic. It'd be called science. So, in regard to, I'm doing my spell work, I haven't seen any results. When a result's going to happen? How long does it take? All of that. I'm here to tell you, I don't know. Okay? And I know that's not the answer that you're looking for, but I'm being really honest here. With spell work, with working with the spirits, your ancestors, your guides, elements, fairies, totem animals, whoever, whatever it is that you incorporate into your practice. These are all spirits on they're in different levels, they're in different astral planes, they're in different dimensions. And even though they coexist with us, so to speak, they don't keep the same time that we do here on Earth. They don't vibrate on the same frequency that us here on Earth do. So, oh boy, the rain, it's starting to thunder and rain. I may have to take this inside, but they don't operate, okay, if that makes sense, on the same timing that we do. So You know, you're like, I've been doing a spell for a week and I haven't gotten any results. Well, a week to them is nothing. A week really is nothing anyway. You know, when you get sick and go to the doctor, they give you a prescription. You take that prescription for a week, sometimes 10 days, sometimes even longer before you start to see results for whatever, you know, health issues you have going on. It's the same when it comes to magic. Just because you did a spell a month ago, you know, a month to us, especially when we're anxious, seems like a long time, but to them, that's equivalent to like a day, okay? Now, let me explain to you the reason why. When you are doing your work, when you are casting a spell, when you are asking the spirits, the elements, the guardians, the whoever it is that you decide to work with, you are asking them to do what? Change the frequency. They have to align things in order to bring about change into your favor. Now, when you're doing magic, especially when it comes to working on other people, this can be love spells, this can be banishing work, this can be drawing in, you know, you want your boss to give you a raise, or you want to be the ideal candidate for a job interview. All of that, you're working not just the energy, but you're having to work on that individual person, you know, changing their energy, or not changing their energy, but attuning into their energy, changing their thoughts, changing their frequencies, getting them to do what it is that you want them to do in order to obtain the results you're looking for. That's a lot, people. That's a lot. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm sorry to say this. People have been brainwashed by this Hollywood magic that you think you sprinkle some pixie dust or wave your magic wand and twinkle your nose and click your heels and boom, something's supposed to happen like that. It doesn't work that way. And if anybody tells you it does, they're lying to you. And if anyone tells you, do this spell and you're going to have results in 3 days, run from them, because no one can give you that answer, not even me. Now, I get this question from clients a lot, and I do tell people, you know, for some people, they get results very quickly, depending on what the type of work is. I've seen results happen for myself and for other individuals as early as the next day, 3 days, sometimes within the same day. Sometimes it takes a month. Sometimes it takes 2 months. Sometimes it takes a year, okay? Yes, I am very, very proficient in the work that I do, but I will be honest with you, I have worked spells for an entire year. I have. And it takes that consistency. Some things require more energy than others. That's why it's called work. That's why it's called a practice. And I will tell you, when those results came, boy, they came, and they came big. Okay? So it's not the same for everyone. Everybody's situation is different, okay? If you are looking to draw in a new love, that may take some time, or it may not. If you are looking to get your spouse from cheating, that may take some time. You know what I mean? So it all depends. If you are looking for a new job, or you're trying to get a raise, there's no set time. I can't tell you 3 days from now your boss is going to call you into the office and boom, here's that raise you were looking for. I can't tell you that. I can tell you that with most workings, results are normally, and I don't even want to say normally, because somebody out there, you are going to get hung up on my words, and then I'm going to get a message a month from now like, well, you said. But from my experience, okay, and I can only speak to you from what I have personally experienced and what others that I have worked with have told me. Usually somewhere around the 1 month time frame, the 1 month mark, okay, you should start to see some sort of change in your situation. You should start to notice signs. You should start to be getting messages, or just whatever it is that you're working on should start to turn around into your favor, okay? This can, and I'm just going to walk back in because I am standing in wet grass and I am very sweet, and the mosquitoes are trying to have a field day with me. Okay, that's better. Anyway, around the 1 month time frame or so, you should start seeing results up until about 3 months. Now, things may not happen 1 month in a day. You know, it may not be 2 months. It may be 3 months before you get even any inclination that the work that you have done is starting to manifest, okay? During this time period, Whether or not you're seeing signs or whether or not you're recognizing the signs that you're getting does not mean the work is not working. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. Within this time, and I'm going to say 3 months to keep it simple, but you may do some work and it may be the 4th month that the results come. This does not mean that from the day that you did the spell up until you see the results that nothing happened. This does not mean that the spirits weren't working on your behalf. This doesn't mean any of that. In fact, they were working very hard. The longer it takes for the spell to manifest, the more work that they've had to put in, okay? It's just like a stage production. When you go see a play or you go see a movie, you see the final result. You see what you paid for, paid my money, sitting down, watching the screen, boom, yay, bravo, that was a wonderful play or show or movie or concert or whatever. You don't have the slightest idea what went on in the background. You don't know how many hours the performers had to rehearse. You don't know how many technical difficulties they ran into along the way. You don't know how many times the producer called in sick and things had to be postponed. You don't know what went on in the background. You have no idea. You don't know about the contracts and the deals and the things that had to be discussed and argued and signed and re-signed and redone. You don't have the slightest clue what went into that production. All you see is the final result. And it's the same thing when you practice magic. You don't know what's going on, okay? You don't know what the spirits are doing, because that's the part that you don't see. All you see and all you're looking for is the results. So, and I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, this is probably, well, no, this is a good example. You're doing spell work to bring your ex back. And let me just be real, because I get this a lot. Your ex is dating another woman or another man or whatever. And you like, you know what? I want this person to come back. Now, there's hurt feelings. There were arguments. There were negative energy. There were things that were said to really sever the relationship. And now there's another person involved. Now, I'm not saying you're doing breakup work or baneful magic. You're just doing love drawing because you want to draw that person back. You're waiting for that person to text or to call or to run into them or something, or to show up at the house or something like that. And you're like, well, they're not coming. I don't see them. That doesn't mean that the work that you've done hasn't already started a ripple effect. It's like you're waiting for your ex to come back to you, but you don't realize that the spell you did, first it has to remove the third party. It has to create whatever it is that it creates, whether they start bickering or arguing or growing apart or feelings start to change or whatever. Then the spell work has to work on your ex to, they have to start thinking about you, and they have to start reminiscing, and they have to start missing you, and they have to start feeling like I want to kind of reconcile with you. Those are the things that you don't see that the spirits are working on in the background until the results come, until you get that text message, until you get that phone call, until you guys run into each other at the grocery store and it's like sparks start flying all over again. That's the part that you don't see. And that probably wasn't the best example, but I deal with a lot of people that love work is like everybody's number one concern. So with that being said, I want you to understand that just because you don't see what's going on in the background, you don't see your ex fighting with their new girlfriend, doesn't mean that the work isn't in process of manifesting what you want. Because they can't come back to you until they've left them alone. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope I didn't lose you guys there. So that's kind of why you have to be patient and why you have to remain positive. Now, a couple of things you can do to help your work, which a lot of people, they start getting discouraged and they're like, oh, it didn't work. I don't see any results. Blah, 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 blah. And that is the worst thing you can do. That is next to blowing your altar candles out. Okay? You have just, with your thoughts, with your mouth, you have just basically destroyed everything you just did. You did a spell to bring someone to you, And now you're saying it doesn't work. Number one, you're disrespecting the spirits. Number two, you're telling them, I don't believe you're working for me. You're putting doubt. You're throwing negative energy. You are destroying everything you just did. And I understand it is difficult to remain positive when you are, financially struggling and you are trying to make ends meet and you have barely enough money to, get your kids to school or even get to that job interview. And you're like, I need this to work right now. And it isn't. And you're feeling like it isn't, then what you're ultimately doing is you are adding, good morning, you are contributing to the negativity, and you're slowing down your productivity and you're slowing down your results. So just kind of keep that in mind when you guys are doing your work. If you haven't watched the video Why Your Witching Ain't Working, then I definitely suggest you go back through YouTube and find that video, because it has a lot of helpful information as to how to train your mind to bring about what it is you're trying to manifest. Also, just really quickly, and I'm going to try to wrap this video up because I've been talking for a very long time. Stay focused on what it is that you want. Stay positive. Do not use words of negation. Do not think, oh, because I don't see it, it's not coming. That is the absolute worst thing you can do. Doubt, anxiety, worry, fear, anxious. Did I do the spell right? I didn't do it right. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The lack of self-confidence. People, the reason why your spells are not manifesting is you. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. It's not that the spirits don't hear you. It's not that they don't want to help you. It's not that you didn't do it right. It's not that it's you, okay? And also, just because you roll up a candle and some herbs and oil and light it and say a few words and sit with it, and you may do this for a couple of days, does not mean that you've harnessed enough energy. So if you're new at this, please ask questions. Do some research. Google a little bit. Find ways to increase your energy, to increase your productivity, okay? I love you guys. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and I'll talk to you soon.